What up, Pokenet? Thank you guys for tuning in and coming to watch our video and deck profile on probably my new favorite deck, which is Enzoro EX. Gosh dang, this thing has been so much fun. I think post rotation, this thing has been pretty diabolical and winning a ton in Japan right now. Love how this plays. I love being aggressive, and I think you can be pretty aggressive with this deck. So let's go take a look what we got going. So we start off with 4 Zoroark EX. Again, we need it not only for its draw power, but with trade and its attack, right? So that's going to be our main and almost only attacker in here. So we got Zoroark EX. We got 4 of them. Then we got 4 Enzoro. So 4/4 line there. Again, because it's our main draw power and our main attacker, that's why we've got the 4/4 line. And again, that's part of what probably makes this good is because we only need one Pokemon to, again, both be our main attacker and our main draw support. We don't have to add in other Pokemon to help with that as much. So 4/4 line there. Then we've got one in Darmanitan, mainly for its second attack that we use with Night Joker from Zoroark, which is Flame Body Cannon, which does 90 to the active, 90 to one of the bench Pokemon. So again, this is great against smaller Pokemon. Great if we can get set up before they can. And then we got 2 Daramaka to help us get into that Darmanitan. So we got a 2/1 line there. Then we've got 2 Zekrom, right? This is the newest addition out of Ascended Heroes that we were able to do Rampaging Thunder for 250 damage. So Zekrom has been a huge part of why this deck has had a resurgence and is playing a little bit better. And one of Reshiram, right? We're doing base damage 170 or powerful rage, which is 20 times each damage counter on the Pokemon you're attacking with. So we got one of them. All right. One of the reasons this deck has been so good is Pecharunt EX being able to manipulate our board state with subjugating chains. And that way we're able to put any dark Pokemon from our bench into the active spot, except for a Pecharunt EX, and they are now poisoned, which is going to come in handy. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. So we got one of those, one Pheasantipity EX, right? We almost need that in every deck for draw power for sure. One Meowth. Again, we don't need mini Meowths. I'm hoping we don't have to put it in play because it's such a big liability. However, there are times we're going to need it to help us get to the right supporter. Then we have one Monkey Dory. Again, because Zoroark's biggest attack, if it's not damaged, is 250, this can help us reach 280 if we have some damage in play. Give us, again, a little bit more manipulation if we need it. So one of them, and then one Badoo. Especially on our first turn, we're never attacking. We don't have an attacker to attack with first turn. So a lot of times, if we're going second and we can get Badoo in the active and slow them down, it really helps us out. So one Badoo, again, to use as our main attacker on our very first turn going second. Okay. Then we're running 4 Lily's Determination. Again, this is the best supporter in the game right now, so we got 4 of her. We got 3 Boss's Orders. That way we can get what we need to in the active, especially because we're a little limited on how high we can hit. Boss's Orders helps us figure that math out sometimes. 2 Cyrano. Again, we a lot of times need to get the Zoroark, and this gets us 3 Pokemon EXs out of our deck into our hands. So this is big. That's why we got 2 of those. Sometimes there's only one. I've seen one inclusion in quite a few decks. I think that's kind of up to you on how you want to play that. But we've got 2 in this one. Then we have 2 Janine's Secret Art. Again, this way we can attach a dark energy to 2 of our dark Pokemon. And if it's in the active spot, it's now poison, which again is going to be huge with Binding Mochi coming up here in a second. So you got 2 Janine's Secret Art, 1 Brock Scouting. Again, so this way we can find either 2 basic Pokemon or 1 evolution Pokemon. Comes in handy. Very often I need to use that. And then we got Team Rocket's Betrayal. A lot of times this is just to go grab our A-Spec. However, there are times we need another item of some kind. So, yeah. All right, we got 4 Buddy Buddy Poffins. Again, we need to get Zoruas in play. This helps us get Badoo as well. Unfortunately, Daramaka's at 80 HP, so we can't use this for him. But however, we're using this to get Zorua in play. So yeah. So 4 of those. 3 Pokepads. Sometimes I'm playing this with 4. I think 3 is just fine, right? I don't think it necessarily matters if you go 3 or 4. But we run in 3 of those. And then we're running 3 ends PP up. I've seen this as little as 1. I like 3. I love having being able to get more energy in play, and I think this is the best way. Obviously, this is the best way to do it in an ends deck. But it might be one of the best in the game right now. So I love the ends PP up. That's why we're running 3 instead of 1 or 2. Okay, then we got 2 Ultra Balls. Because we got the ends PP ups, a lot of times we want to get a dark energy in the discard pile. This helps us do that. All right, one thing I have included in here, but I don't think it's always in these Enzoroarks, is the Tool Scraper. And the reason for that is if they've got a maximum belt, we're never hitting high enough to get into that Pokemon. So the Tool Scraper fixes the math for us fairly often for that. So realistically, if you're not seeing Hero's Cape in any of your matchups, you probably don't need it, but it certainly comes in handy. And then Night Stretcher, being able to get a Pokemon or a basic energy from our discard pile. And then one thing in here is I'm running 2 Binding Mochi. I know a lot of times people are only running 1, but I think post rotation we got to be hitting higher numbers. Again, this fixes the math. So Night Joker often is only hitting us into 250. This gives us up to 290 if we're poisoned, right? So we get a lot more knockouts that way. So it helps fix the math in a lot of our matchups. So we got 2 of those. Then we got 2 Ends Castle, right? Giving our Ends Pokemon free retreat. And 1 Team Rocket's Watchtower. Because we're still running into a lot of other decks that are running even more Meowths. They're running the Mega Kangaskhan. This helps us shut down some of those decks with that. A-Spec is unfair stamp, right? I mean, heck, with Iono being gone, this is our best way to manipulate our opponent's hand. So unfair stamp for our A-Spec. And then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 dark energy. So yep, don't need any other energy. All dark and to help us get this going. So so this is what we have for the Ends Zoroark deck right now. I think this is my favorite deck. I think this is the funnest to play, um, and I think winning wise, it's in a really good spot. Certainly, a few things to change here. Um, I think you got a lot of manipulation within this deck to what you like. I think this plays to how I play, which sometimes is a little more aggressive. So that's how I constructed the deck too. Um, so let me know, what other decks do you guys want to see in some of these deck profiles? Um, Pretty soon we're going to be having some Chaos Rising or Ninja Spinner because it's going to be Japanese. So we'll hopefully have some decks coming in soon that are going to be after we get Chaos Rising. So hopefully you see that pretty often. Um, if you guys made it this far, you got to smash the like button. Thank you guys for watching and supporting. Please, in the comments, let us know what deck you want to see next. What other ones are you interested in? And then otherwise, let's have a Poketastic day.